Welcome everyone. My name is Muninder Sambi. I'm a vice president here at Google Cloud, and I'm really excited about what we're going to be announcing today. As you know, we've launched on this journey of cross-cloud network, and cross-cloud network, now we are extending it to the enterprise, to the branch, to the campus, and other locations. This is a fully managed, globally available, reliable WAN solution. It's built for performance-optimized network, built in security, and seamlessly integrates a rich ISV ecosystem. The goal here is for every enterprise that is distributed, has multiple locations, being able to use the Google backbone as their own WAN network, providing high reliability of 5 nines with our 2 million plus miles of subsea fiber cable, providing the best latency that you can get possible. In some examples, we've seen up to 35% of lower latency when users are connecting to SaaS or cloud applications. And obviously, being able to provide some level of cost savings. We anticipate anywhere between up to 40% of lower TCO. As we build Cloud WAN, it's very, very important for us to have a rich ISV ecosystem. And why is that important? It's predominantly to give our customers the flexibility of being able to choose best of breed capabilities that are now delivered in the cloud. And with that, I have Scott Harrell here with me, CEO of Infoblox. Welcome, Scott.
Hey, Muninder. I am thrilled to be here, and it's such a pleasure for us at Infoblox to get to partner with yourself and the team here at Google Cloud. And we could be more thrilled about the architectural evolution you're going to take customers and ourselves on.
Perfect. Scott, why don't we first start with, many people know Infoblox, but I think for the audience who don't know Infoblox, don't know what DDI is, if you can just give a quick snippet of what you and your company are doing.
It's a great question. Not everybody understands DDI or is passionate about it as we are at Infoblox. But Infoblox provides a best-of-breed DNS, DHCP, and IPAM services that are collectively known as DDI. To give you an idea of the criticality of this and how this works in a modern environment, think about like DNS as the contact app on your phone. You don't actually memorize any phone numbers anymore. You just put in somebody's name, and it translates that into a phone number. We do the same thing for domain names. We seamlessly make it simple to serve IP addresses anywhere in the world. Now, the key to this kind of technology is everything depends in a modern enterprise on DNS and DHCP to function. Failures in this layer of network services can lead to planes that don't fly, trading floors that don't work, online orders that can't be processed, refineries that can't produce oil. It can be catastrophic to enterprises when this stuff doesn't work. And when people are modernizing and when they're trying to think about something new like Cloud WAN, oftentimes they forget about the network services. And in fact, what we see is 52% of the time when organizations are going through digital transformation, they hit a hiccup in the infrastructure that slows them down and prevents the outcomes they want from that digital transformation. Some of the challenges they see, things like complexity. The average customer will have these days like 4 or 5 different DNS systems, and they have to manage and orchestrate all those. As we said, downtime of any one of these systems can actually be in the millions of dollars depending on what else it takes down, because your applications depend on this, your security infrastructure depends on this, everything depends on it. The other challenge is speed. A lot of times when you're going to roll out a new application or you want to automate or modernize a new application, networking can oftentimes be the long pole in the tent now, because people like Google have made rolling out an application in the cloud super simple. And we have seen customers go from as many as 15 days to roll out a new application to being able to do it first to 24 hours and then into minutes as they've transformed and modernized their network services architecture. The last part is about visibility. Nobody just has the cloud. They still have on-prem. And so how do you see across this combined estate? Most customers we deal with have 3, 4, 5 tools to try to do that. And it's just a huge challenge as you try to modernize your environment. We have changed the game here at Infoblox. We have a new capability called Universal DDI that was custom built to address these challenges and will be natively integrated with Google Cloud WAN. It's simple. It's fully as a service. It's unified. It works seamlessly with cloud native services like Cloud WAN, but also Google DNS. It's fast. It spans on-prem and the cloud for unified visibility and is easy to deploy and easy to scale. And so when you combine these two, it's going to be really magical and really powerful.
Having an IP address, having DHCP as well as DNS resolution, super, super important.
Yeah.
It has direct impact to any business, any enterprise that is trying to access an application or an employee productivity results, right? I like the examples that you gave where planes can't fly, people can't do transactions. It kind of halts the economy if not done right. And for enterprises that want to be able to deploy it, they want to be able to rely on reliability. And that's something that we, as I talked about, super, super important for us to focus on, the 5 nines that connectivity can provide. But it's not just about connectivity, it's about services as well. Being able to provide the latency. And I think one thing that you really talked about is the bridge between on-prem and cloud.
Yeah.
Very important. They've been used to doing some things on-prem, been really well at it. I'm not sure how reliable it was. But as they move into the cloud and deliver and get these services in the cloud, having better reliability, better latency, and improved security, I think is going to be important. So how do you see Universal DDI that's hosted as part of Google Cloud WAN? What does it offer to our customers jointly?
Yeah, I think as a customer goes down the Google Cloud WAN path, what they're really after is they want to modernize and distribute the WAN connectivity out as far and as wide as possible for that performance, for that latency. And the reality is like this architecture is only going to be as strong as its weakest link, right? And if you're going to modernize that piece, you must also modernize the network services stack at the same time. Or to your point, like you're not going to get all the possible great benefits that you could have gotten. When you think about speed, I mentioned that earlier. Like customers want to go fast, and the reality is it can be done in a much faster way if you seamlessly integrate our services, Universal DDI, with Cloud WAN. It makes it simple for the customer to consume, simple for the customer to deploy, simple for the customer to manage. We also can help minimize latency. You mentioned how important that was to customers. Well, the reality is if you distribute those network services closer to the user, you're going to have better latency. You're going to have faster lookup times that the customer is going to experience. The application will perform better. And then resiliency. You know, as you mentioned, people used to be highly centralized. Well, it's the same for network services. They were always aggregated into a central place. With Cloud WAN, we can distribute those everywhere, so there's no single point of failure. And if there is a failure, we can just fail over to another node. And so it helps create a highly resilient both network and fabric as well as network and services fabric. And this is super powerful for what it means for customers.
Wow, so, and this is going to be offered as a service.
Absolutely. Is
SLA
there any
backed.
other way to do it today?
No, there's no other way to do it today. So fully SLA backed, reliable, being able to offer it globally, depending on what the customer demand is, which is really, really good. I think one of the questions that we do get up is, how does this partnership actually alleviate, you talked about operational burden at some point, but how does it really help our joint customers?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you think about what we're thinking about for a customer, you know, it kind of comes back to some of the points we just discussed, which is from an operational point of view, customers aren't going to have people in these remote sites in, you know, Bangalore or in Mumbai, or like, you know, maybe they're in the Philippines or maybe they're in Japan, wherever it might be. You may not have IT personnel there. And so you want to consume network services as, you know, as a service, so you don't have to maintain that personnel. And the beauty of the Cloud WAN is it gives you an opportunity to host those within the Google infrastructure, the highest performance infrastructure on the planet, and to do it in a way that's simple to deploy, simple to roll out. So you're not having to make trade-offs. You're not having to make trade-offs between, I want all these good things, but I don't have the operational capability to actually deploy them at scale across the world.
So one click, you get it anywhere, you have an office, you can reduce IT staff, you can operate this and consume this as a service.
Yeah. I'm curious though, like, you know, we're working a lot with Google and we're hearing a lot about some of the things that are happening at Google Next, and how do you view the evolution of AI in the network? Where do you see that going?
Yes, absolutely. I think we, at Google Cloud itself, Scott, we've seen 15x growth in GenAI applications, just on the traffic and capacity. So you can imagine building lots and lots of capacity so we can support the data transfer workloads is important. But we also see it on the enterprise side, where employees are trying to now access what we would have called traditional applications. As they move into GenAI, being able to get better reliability, higher performance, lower latency, that's table stakes. But on top of it, I think security is super important. Second, we also see, and this my teenage kids told me, if you put the right prompt to any model that is out there, you can kind of eliminate the guardrails that it has and do data exfiltration. So security is going to be really, really important. And as we embark on this particular journey, we want to be able to make sure that Google Cloud WAN offers the reliability, the security, and the rich set of network services. And yes, network services cannot be an afterthought. It has to be transformed, it has to be modernized as they think about modernizing their own backbone, their own network. And I think the areas where you talked about providing that bridge between on-prem and cloud, offering this as a SaaS service that is fully managed, fully reliable, available everywhere is going to be extremely important.
I think that's right. And I think as we think about our own AI journey, we're going through a lot of the same things. From a security point of view, you mentioned that being paramount. We can help with the unsanctioned AI app usage, so things like DeepSeek. But it could also be, some of the lesser AI tools like, that maybe from some of your competitors. We can help make sure they stay on whatever that sanctioned one is. Prompt injection, you mentioned that. One of the most famous ways that attackers want to get you to download malware is they want to send you to a rogue site. Well, they often are doing that now via prompt injection. We can help stop that and limit that. And when you think about, kind of where else we could go with AI, we're going to integrate this deeply and broadly across our product portfolio, whether it's the use of LLMs or it's agentic AI, to actually have virtual capabilities, virtual operators, both from a SOC point of view as well as from a networking point of view, to continuously emphasize how do we simplify things for our customer, how do we allow them to do more with less, and how do we allow them to go faster.
Wow, so not only are you taking an on-prem asset, network service, a very critical foundational element, moving to the cloud, offering it as a SaaS, but along the way, you are almost like leveraging the power of what AI can bring to enhance the stack with
Absolutely.
agentic AI or LLMs that we have in the background. But at the same time, I really like your examples on security that has to be built in, not bolted on, where there's attacks that we can stop at the DHCP, DNS layer that are paramount to anyone that's adopting GenAI applications.
Yeah. Well, in that DNS instance that will now be hosted in Cloud WAN, that's there for network reasons, can also be a universal interception point for security reasons. And so it can offer many functions beyond just being a DNS connection. And you're right, if you can't trust DNS, then there really is that really is the foundational of any zero trust model, because that's the first thing that happens.
Fantastic. I think we've talked a lot. I think doing a demo would be really nice.
Excellent. Let's roll the demo.
In this demo scenario, an enterprise will use Infoblox Universal DDI to accelerate the deployment of critical DNS and DHCP services to the branch office, providing fast and secure connectivity to business applications. Enterprises can purchase Infoblox Universal DDI directly from the Google Cloud Marketplace, connect their distributed network sites to Google's premium global backbone network, and centrally manage DNS and DHCP through the Infoblox portal. The Infoblox Universal DDI portal optimizes deployment using simplified workflows for DDI management, including Nios X as a service in Google Cloud. From the Infoblox portal, we can deploy Nios X services in a GCP region with a few guided steps. We configure the deployment to include DNS and DHCP services and essential parameters. We select Google Cloud as a target, and after a few guided steps, we deploy these services. The system efficiently handles Nios X provisioning and automates the connection of DDI services to Google Cloud WAN. Once the services are successfully deployed, the customer branch location is enabled for critical DDI functions, delivered by Infoblox Nios X service running in Google Cloud. Infoblox Universal DDI solution easily scales from single sites to thousands of locations with comprehensive monitoring dashboards showing real-time service health and AI-powered threat insights. Experience Infoblox Universal DDI and Google Cloud WAN, delivering best-in-class DDI services and automation at scale while enhancing performance for the modern enterprise.
Wow, that was really exciting. I mean, that demo really got me thinking, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers today must be looking at it and seeing the value that Universal DDI brings. Just to sum it up, Scott, what are the tangible benefits that you expect our joint customers to gain, both with Infoblox Universal DDI and Google Cloud WAN coming?
I think together we can solve quite a few problems, but the top ones would be simplicity/ease of management, like how easy it is to deploy this, and you just saw that, like it's a fairly simple demo, intentionally, like that's a good thing. Automation, how do you actually do this at scale across the globe, but still with a limited amount of resources? And then that pervasive visibility so that you can see things on-prem, off-prem, and you can have a unified view and a unified operational model across.
And if I was a customer, I looked at the demo, I really liked it, and I want to be able to extend it to my enterprise. How do I buy it?
Yeah. Well, if you give me some money, we can work something out. No, but seriously, the best way to actually procure this is going to be through the Google Cloud Marketplace. It's going to be available everywhere Cloud WAN is, and it's going to be available through the Google Marketplace, and so that's where we'd recommend you go.
Wow, this is really exciting, Scott. Our customers now can not only buy the connectivity, which is fully highly reliable, with lower latency, but also get the network services involved with it as a service to be consumed via Google Marketplace. They can simply download it, deploy it in their VPC, and be able to consume it as a service. Thank you for being here, Scott. It's great working with you guys.